Hey, what's up, my beautiful people? It's your boy Devo, some motivational, back with another day trading spy recap. Real quick, as always, I want to say thank you all for all the likes that comes to subscribe. Thank you guys for everybody sticking with me to the journey. I see like overall on our videos, we're like getting more views averagely, and I just appreciate every single one of y'all sticking with me. I hope you guys are getting better along with me, because every single day we're getting better. Every single day we're learning. Every single day we're seeing how we could have done better in the market, how we could have extended our winners, cut our losses short, or how we could have not lost, or how we actually did win. You know what I'm saying? So every day we're trying to get better, and I hope you guys are learning with me. All right, that's why I wanted to start this YouTube channel in the first place, to actually show my whole journey, because I already knew I'm gonna be profitable one day. I've already knew that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna put in the work to be profitable. But I wanted to show you guys how everything lined up. You know, I don't want to just come on here maybe in like a year or maybe in 6 months, or you never know. Whenever I'm actually profitable, I'm actually itching towards that profitable. I have a little more to go. I'm on to be honest, a couple grand to go, about two and a half grand to go to be profitable, like overall profitable. But we're cutting it down like pretty fast, because we're starting to pick up the pace on these winners, and we're doing pretty good. All right, so that was my whole goal of starting this YouTube channel, is to not just, whenever I'm profitable, hop on and show you guys me making money, but I wanted to show you guys from me losing, and then how I overall over time gradually get better, and then start, so y'all can start seeing the wins, and then y'all are seeing the little wins, maybe $200, $300 on a good day, $40, $50 on like a little win day. But then y'all, whenever y'all start seeing the $1,000 winners, y'all are gonna be able to remember whenever I had these small winners. Okay, so that was the whole point of the YouTube channel, just to document the whole journey and show you guys that it's possible. Show you guys that you have to start small to get big, right? And so that's the whole goal, and I hope you guys, are sticking with me, and I love every single one of y'all. Okay, so today we have a good day. We had another winner. It seems like all we do is win now. You know what I'm saying? That is not the case. That is not all we do is win. But lately we have been on a heater. We are on a heater. Like, we're just winning, 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 winning. Yeah, we had a loss, like one loss, but then we winning, 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 and it just feels good to actually just be able to produce these profits like consistently. Okay, and so let's get straight into it. Okay, so today we had a gap down. Why did we have a gap down? Because we had some news. Um, so, all right, let me just read this off. Many Iranians have reacted with fear and dismay at Donald Trump's instruction to immediately evacuate Tehran. So Trump said he had comments yesterday just before cutting short his trip to G7 in Canada. His trip to G7 in Canada, it was to talk to the prime minister to work out a trade deal, and he cut it short. And his comments on cutting it short, it says, leaving many wondering if this could mean a further escalation in the conflict between Israel and Iran or immediate. Let me find the exact quote. I thought I had it up here. Okay. He said, oh man, I want to find the exact quote. I swear I had it up here. My goodness. Sorry, my good people. Well, so in the quote, he said that, you know what? I'm going to bring up the quote. Okay. So we have the news right here, and we have a lot more news that just came out today that is pretty not really good, okay? So I'm going to read all the news that I just seen from Trump coming out today, and I'm going to read what initially had the drop in the market. So it says, Iran should have signed the deal. I told them to sign. What a shame and waste of human life. Simply stated, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I said it over and over again. Then he said everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. So that is what had this drop in the market. Pretty much people basically thinking that U.S. is going to get involved in the war. And then we have some more news coming out. Donald Trump, I have not reached out to Iran for peace talks in any way, shape, or form. This is just more highly fabricated fake news. If they want to talk, they know how to reach me. They should have taken that deal that was on the table, would have saved a lot of lives. So that is not good news for Iran. I mean, it's basically saying that we're getting in the war. And then Israel has now eliminated Majority General Ali Shadmani, the newly appointed Iranian wartime chief of staff, just days after killing his predecessor. So, as we know, previously Iran had sent missiles to their nuclear facilities and killed their chief of staff, and now they just killed the person that took their place. So, and that just came out 39 minutes ago. Then we had Now we have this news Trump put out 20 minutes ago. We now have complete and total control over the skies over Iran. Iran had good sky trackers and other defensive equipment, and plenty of it, but it doesn't compare to American made, conceived, and manufactured stuff. Nobody does it better than the good old USA. So that is not that is not good news. Basically, we're getting involved in the war. Good for our investments because that means the market will, like, whenever this like actually comes into place. And I don't want us to get in the war. Let me get that straight, because that is not good for anything, no lives or anything. But the market would likely tank if we do get some serious war talks, and or like if we actually do get into the war. I mean, it's trying to get it out. So Trump is saying basically we're in the war. But if we get any type of missiles over here or any type of like actual declaration of war, I feel like the market will actually tank, and that will be buying opportunities. I mean, that's how we're going to see it as investors, right? I mean, overall, we do not think it's good, because I mean, those are people's lives that are at stake, and we do not like that. But for our investments, hey, we're going to get better prices, okay? And so that is news that news just came out about 20, 30 minutes ago. That actually probably helped me hit my TP. But the first news, when Trump told Iran to citizens to immediately evacuate Tehran, that's what gave us this drop down from 601 to start the day at 599. Okay, and so let's see what data that came out today. Today we did have some data. Oh my goodness, I can't stand this mouse sometimes, man. Okay, give me a second. Mouse gonna turn off on me. All right, we're back. I don't know what, and it just okay. Okay, I think it needs new batteries. Okay, we're just gonna go back to the mouse pad, the touchpad. So I do like this mouse though. I think we do need more batteries on it. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to Tuesday. So today we had a lot of news. We had retail sales month on month, negative 0.9%. Previous was 0.1%. Consensus was 0.7%. All negative 0.7%, negative 0.1%. Came out negative 0.9%. So retail sales, we are not buying as much in stores, and so that is not good news. Export prices month on month, negative 0.9. Consensus was negative 0.2. Previous was 0.1. So that is not good. That came out way worse than expected. Import prices at exactly 0%. So consensus was negative 0.2. Previous was 0.1. So it's worse than previous, but better than consensus. More retail sales, export prices year after year are getting lower than previous. Export prices year after year are lower than previous. Import prices are higher than previous. So all of that is not very good news. Manufacturing, industrial production, 0.6%. Previous was 1.4%. Forecasted 1.1%. So that's not good. Industrial production, that's not good. Manufacturing production at 0.1%. Previous was negative 0.5%. Consensus 0.2%. So lower than consensus, better than previous. So, I mean, news is not very good today. I'm not going to lie. A lot of negative numbers in our production, and our prices are raising. So, that's not really good for the market as well, okay? So, after all that, let's just get to our trade, okay? Okay. Okay. All right. The mouse is done. I'm gonna stop messing with that. So let's just get into the trade. And y'all see how it keeps saying connection lost, connected, connection lost. All right. So let's just get into the trade. So today's trade, what did I see? So to start the day, what was I looking at? I wanted something like this because look at all these equal highs up here. Equal highs, equal highs, equal highs. So I wanted something like that, some kind of setup, and get all the way up there for the equal highs. What did we get? Which actually still a pretty nice setup. We got a range, and then we dropped down, basically fell in equilibrium of this gapper. I had that. I actually think I had this thing here since yesterday. It was a white line. I just changed it to that green line. I think I had this actually here yesterday, just equilibrium, basically equilibrium of this. Yeah, like almost exactly equilibrium of this, probably exactly equilibrium of this gapper. So basically kind of like a manipulation, and then we shot up, basically filling this gap, and then, but there was no entry point to anything, you know what I'm saying? No nice entry point to anything. Then we dropped all the way down. What was I looking at? Some kind of rest, like a rest on this. So let me go to my 5 minute. So what was I looking at? I was looking at some type of rest on the top of this, like range, basically using it as support, as well as pulling into like this little gap right here, right? As well, excuse me, good people, as well is in my 1 minute. You guys can see I have this 1 minute gap, and then it aligns as well as resting on top of this, as well as resting on top of this range. So that's what I was looking at as potential more upside to actually get these highs, right? And it would have been somewhat like this, and I had this, and I would have had it at the bottom of right here, right? So that would have been about a 1.73 to 1, something like that, 1.8 to 1. So that's what I was looking at, but what did we do? We came all the way down, and we broke through it. We broke through it, so basically we broke right back into the range. So for me, there's no entry point. You're breaking right back into the range, so that is a no-go to me, right? What did we do? We actually used this 1 minute order block, right? Because as we see, look at this. Let me delete this right here. We actually have this 1 minute order block, as we see, right? Because we have this range manipulation that boom started pump up, broke down. 1 minute order block that broke structure, right? As we see, there's actually a 1 minute order block. Boom, boom. And now what did we do? We swept out this high, and I was like, okay, we swept out this high. I wanted to see us keep pumping up, and what did I want to see us do to actually go long? I wanted to see us pump up, give a 5 minute fair value gap, give a pullback, use this because this basically has resistance, and use it as a support. So pump through this resistance, use it as support with a 5 minute fair value gap, scale down to my 1 minute, have a 1 minute fair value gap, get an exact entry, and then write it up to take out these equal highs, right? That's easy, right? That's what I've always been telling you guys, right? But what did we do? We broke straight through. Boom, 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 boom. Just rode it all the way down, right? And okay, so what did I see? Because this is actually where my entry was at. So let me delete this. I don't remember what this one was for. I can delete this one now. Okay, so what did I see? Let me go to my 5 minute. So what did I see? I was like, okay, we swept out that high. We broke down quick. Boom. We broke down quick. And what did I see? Okay, well, we have this 5 minute gap right here, right? That's what I seen. We have this 5 minute gap right here. And what did we do? Honestly, I don't know what a lot of these lines are for after I be having them. So we have this 5 minute gap right here, right? What did we do? We ran straight through that 5 minute gap. And honestly, it's kind of like, no, I wouldn't even count this because, I mean, yeah, you swept out this high, but it's not really a break of structure because it's just a sweep. So I wouldn't even call this an order block. But you kind of do have this gap right here. You scale down to the 1 minute to see what it's doing. And we do have this 1 minute gap right here, right? But what did I do? So I seen us sweep out this high, and I was like, okay, we broke down quick, boom, 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 boom. Then we gave a pullback, and what did I see? Equal lows, equal lows, boom, equal low, boom, equal low. So okay, we swept out this high, broke down quick with some good candles, I was like, okay, swept out this high, equal lows down here, ran through this 5 minute gap. We have this 1 minute gap down here, but it's not as important as the 5 minute gap, right? It ran through the 5 minute gap. There's a 1 minute gap down here, but remember the bigger time frame gaps are more important than the small time frame. So I mean, it could have still been a little bit of risk, but it was a risk I was willing to take. Okay, and as well, it was only one contract I traded, but it was still a very good setup because we swept out this high and then we had equal lows down here to take. So what did I do? I waited for my pullback right here. It broke down right here, got wicked up, and then right around here is where I took my trade. Boom. Had my stop loss on top of my wick. Take profits right there. Zoom in so you guys can see. Right around here, and that was about a 1.25 to 1. I actually think it was actually up here. Yeah, I think it was actually up around here. So about a 1.3 to 1. So not, obviously we want a 2 to 1 most of the time or higher, but I mean we knew we had these equal lows down here. We knew we were gonna take these out. And overall, if you see, we're in like kind of like a range. Not even kind of, we're in a range, and so that was still nice to be able to see that setup and get that trade off. Remember, it's all my strategy. I'm not gambling. That's still my strategy. Supply and demand, looking for equal highs, equal lows, looking for the liquidity to grab, and those are our take profits, right? And that's exactly what we did. We swept this high, broke down, gave us a pullback. Boom, we seen equal lows on the bottom, gave us our pullback, wrote it down to our more equal lows, and we broke through it, right? So this is what we did. That's exactly what we did. We swept this high. I know I'm saying it over and over, but we swept this high, broke down, ran through our 5 minute fair value gap, gave a pullback, basically giving confirmation because he ran through the 5 minute fair value gap, gave us a pullback, saw the equal lows down there, gave the pullback, got in at this pullback, and wrote it down to target these equal lows. We only had one contract in, so we actually only made 39 bucks. Let's just say 40, but 39 bucks. But let me just show you guys real quick. See how much percentage, because my contract wasn't very expensive actually at all. My contract was 98 bucks for one contract, and I made 40% on that one contract. So I made 39 bucks. Let's just say 40 bucks. I made 40 bucks on a $98 contract. So basically almost 50%, 40% of the contract. So that's still good. Remember, if I had $500 in, it would have been 40% of that. If I had $800 of that, $800 in, it would have been 40% of that. You see what I'm saying? So 40 bucks isn't much, but it was only one contract. And keep in mind, it's only a 601.20 to a 630 move. So about a 90 cent move. Wasn't even a full dollar move, right? But we took what we could get through this rangy day, as we see rangy. Okay, and so that is good. Our first week of the day, first trade of the day, first trade of the week in green, and so we love to see that. We took light risk because remember we still did see that we're still technically in an uptrend. We swept this high, technically in an uptrend, right? And we know we had these equal highs up here, but at the same time, we knew we had these equal lows. So I was like, okay, we're going to take out these equal lows, and then we could reverse up to try to get these equal highs, right? So only one contract, light size, first trade of the week, first trade of the day, but we felt good about it, okay? And that was our first trade. So now what do I want to see? What I want to see now, I really want this mouse to work. Okay, now what I want us to see is, again, like I told you guys earlier, I want to see us break through this resistance. So let me show you guys. Let me draw it out. See, the mouse just makes everything easier. I want to see us break up and then create like a 5-minute fair value gap. Give us that pullback, and then 5-minute fair value gap, 1-minute fair value gap, exact entry, and then itch up and take out these highs. And then I'm not sure if the market will give us that because all that news I just showed you guys and all that uncertainty, which we have. But we could, through today, try to make that final push to take out these equal highs is what I'm thinking. We could make that final push to get these equal highs and then probably get a little bit of a tank in the market. I'm not going to lie. So I could see a little bit of a tank in the market coming near. But I think maybe today, like I said, we could pump up and try to get these equal highs real quick. because remember, we're always going to try to get these equal highs, equal lows. Yesterday we got these equal highs, but we kind of topped out right here, right before our local highs. So that's actually nice, because if we look through our daily, okay, my bad guy. If we look through our daily, okay, yeah, excuse my Google. No, not the daily. Let's look at the 4 hour or 1 hour. You guys can see how we're starting to slow down, how we had higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher low, and then we had a lower high, boom, a lower, a higher low still, then we got to pull back again, boom, another lower low, and we pumped up and we kind of just maxed out, right? And so now we could see us start to reverse and kind of get that overall, like through the daily pullbacks, and maybe it could be the pullback that we needed, that I've been telling you guys, to maybe fill this gap right here at this 575 level. And that'd be nice, because we would be able to load up on some of our favorite stocks like SoFi. That's what I'm looking at right now, some SoFi. I've been wanting to get that for a long time. I missed it during that huge tank during the liberation, and so now I'm just waiting for a little bit of a pullback to get that. So what are we looking for today? I want to see us break through this resistance, give us 5 minute, 1 minute fair value gap, and then pump up. And then I'll be taking that trade to get a pump up to take up these equal highs. And so right now we're at 40 bucks, but we could potentially have another winner. It's getting a little late in the day, so maybe not. But we will see how price reacts. We will see how fast it reacts. So maybe we'll get a trade, but maybe not, and we might just be up 40 bucks on the day. And so we're okay with that, because remember, it was one contract, right? We didn't even risk much. That was still a let me see, what was that? I think it was a one to three of my money. Right? It was about a 1 to 3 to my money, right? Yeah, about a 1 to 3. Yeah, about a 1 to 3 to my money. So I would have lost probably about 20 something bucks, and I made 40 bucks. So again, it was little risk, little reward, but we felt good about the trade. We followed strategy. We trusted strategy. We trusted our disciplines. We didn't FOMO. Didn't nothing. We're just sticking to our strategy, sticking to our disciplines. I hope you guys are seeing that, how doing those simple things, just not FOMOing, just being patient, waiting for your strategy, and waiting for everything to show up. You guys can see how those things can produce consistent profits. Okay. So that is pretty much it. I'll update you guys if we have another trade on the day, if we have another winner. Hopefully we do have price react, because I do want to take up these equal highs. I do want to have a little bit of a bigger winner, just have a little bit more cushion on the week. Also, just have a little bit more money. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what price wants to do. We're not going to force nothing. Again, we'll just see what price is going to do, okay? That is pretty much it. I love every single one of y'all sticking with me through the journey. Real quick, actually. Real quick. Got ahead of myself. Let's see what tomorrow we have. I always forget to show you guys what tomorrow. I always be trying to say the outro, and then I'm like, okay, I got to tell you guys what's coming tomorrow. So tomorrow we have a big volatile day. It can be initial. We got initial jobless claims, continuing jobless claims 4-week average, crude oil imports change, gasoline stocks change, building permits, housing starts, FOMC, which is going to be the major mover. That's going to be about one. Interest rate projections, 15-year mortgage rates. What can I see tomorrow? Usually when we have FOMC and Fed rate decisions, usually it's more of a range day till he starts talking. But since we have all this uncertainty in this war, Trump could come out tomorrow and we could have huge like war news before it. So we could honestly have like a tank, and maybe the Fed could like rebound the market a little bit, or maybe the Fed would come in more bearish and it would tank some more. So we're gonna see what price is doing. We're gonna see what news is coming out. But again, usually when the Fed is talking, we have more of a rangy day before he talks, and then the market reacts off of what he says. But again, all this uncertainty and this war news, we could have bad war news coming out tomorrow that will tank the market, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what's coming out tomorrow. Again, as always, I'll come in and update you guys with my trade, with the news, with the data coming out. That is pretty much it. I love every single one of y'all sticking with me journey. Thank you guys for everything y'all do for me. You know what I'm saying? I love every single one of y'all again. Remember, guys, stay persistent, passionate, Make sure y'all paid, all right? Peace.